Angels are saying, only 5 minutes left. Heaven is sending you a secret message, and it has your name written in pure golden light. Right now, in the highest realm above you, a scroll is being unsealed. The sound of that seal breaking is echoing softly in the chambers of heaven, and with every echo, blessings are being released into your life. This is not a random moment. This is not an ordinary passing of time. This is the exact second heaven has chosen to reach you. As you hear these words, imagine a great golden river flowing down from the gates of heaven, carrying treasures, opportunities, and divine connections that were always meant for you. They have been stored away, kept safe, untouched by human hands, until this very moment. Angels are leaning close to you now. They whisper your name in the language of light. They are saying, "Beloved, we have watched you walk through nights that felt endless, through days when the weight was too heavy for you to carry alone, and yet you kept going. This is why heaven is sending you this message today." Somewhere in the distance, a choir of light is singing, not for the world, but only for you. The melody carries the sound of release, of breakthrough, of long-awaited prayers finally taking form. Your life is about to enter a chapter that will feel like sunrise after a lifetime of night. Even now, angels are adjusting the path before you. They are removing hidden blocks, clearing unseen obstacles, and aligning people, places, and events so that your blessing will arrive without delay. This is why they are saying, only 5 minutes left. It is not about fear, it is about readiness. It is about you stepping into position so when the gift touches the ground, you are there to receive it. Heaven's clock is never wrong, and right now, the hands are moving towards the exact moment your destiny shifts. So, breathe in deeply, and listen. Can you feel it? The air around you is different. The stillness has a weight to it, a holy kind of weight. It's the feeling of heaven leaning in, of eternity brushing against your moment in time. Angels are saying the scroll with your name is almost fully unrolled, and when the last fold opens, a wave of joy, provision, and love will pour over you like rain after drought. You don't have to chase it. You only have to stay open. Because in these final minutes, the divine is proving once again that you have never been forgotten. The angels are still speaking, their voices now are like a gentle stream flowing into the quiet corners of your soul. They are saying, "Beloved, you are closer than you think." The pieces you could not understand are coming together in ways you cannot yet see. Right now, in a place where time does not exist, the threads of your life are being woven into a pattern so beautiful that when you finally see it, every tear you cried will make sense. Heaven has been guarding certain moments for you, moments that cannot be rushed, moments that arrive exactly when they will have the most meaning. This is one of those moments. You may think nothing is changing, but in the higher realm, angels are moving with precision. They are placing blessings into your path the same way a gardener plants seeds in rich soil, knowing that what they sow will bloom in perfect season. I see a vision, a table set before you, covered in gifts wrapped in light. Each gift holds a promise, one for your health, one for your joy, one for the dreams you thought were too late, and one for the relationship your heart has been quietly praying for. Heaven is saying you will not leave this season empty-handed. The blessings coming now are not only answers to your prayers, they are answers to prayers you didn't even know how to put into words. And as these gifts approach, angels are removing the noise around you, silencing the voices of doubt, and clearing away the shadows that tried to make you forget who you are. You are being reminded right now, you are chosen, you are seen, you are loved without condition. Listen closely, the sound you hear is the rustle of angel wings drawing nearer. The atmosphere around you is shifting because joy is approaching. The kind of joy that takes your breath away, the kind of joy that turns ordinary mornings into miracles. This joy will not come as a small drop, but as a flood, washing over every dry place in your heart. It will restore your faith in ways you didn't know it needed restoring. And when it comes, you will know without a doubt, heaven heard you the first time you prayed. The angels are saying, do not think of the time you have lost, for nothing is truly lost in God's hands. What you thought slipped away is only being returned in a better form. This is why they are urging you to be still and ready. Not with fear, but with expectation. Because when heaven sends a message like this, it is never to fill your mind with worry, but to fill your heart with hope. In the quiet between these words, they are preparing you to receive. And as this message reaches its final moments, know this, something in the unseen world has already shifted. The blessing has left the gates of heaven and is walking toward you even now. When it arrives, you will look back at this exact moment and realize, this was the day everything began to change. The angels are still here, they have not moved from your side since this message began. They are watching you with eyes full of kindness, as if they already know the ending to your story and are smiling because it is far more beautiful than you imagine. One of them whispers, "Beloved, there is a timing in heaven that is never early and never late. Today is not just another day, it is a bridge. A bridge between what was and what will be. And you are standing right in the middle of it. You may not see what lies ahead, but heaven does, and they are asking you to keep walking. Every step you take now is moving you closer to the answer that has been waiting for you longer than you have been waiting for it. I see in the spirit a great hallway of light, endless and radiant, and your name is written at the end of it in gold. This is the path heaven designed just for you. Along the walls are moments from your life, like paintings, each one telling a story of where you've been, what you've endured, and how every trial shaped the strength inside you now. The angels are pausing here to remind you, nothing you went through was wasted. Not the tears, not the waiting, not the times you thought God was silent. Even in the quiet, He was weaving something priceless into you. And now, the reward for your endurance is approaching. A soft wind begins to move in this vision, carrying with it the fragrance of something new. The angels say, this wind is the breath of change. It is bringing with it open doors, not one, but many. Doors that will feel almost too good to be true, doors you didn't even knock on, doors that lead to rooms filled with answers. As you step into these spaces, you will see how the delays were only heaven's way of making sure the blessing would fit perfectly into your life. You will not have to struggle to hold it, because it was made for you, and you were prepared for it. And now, they draw your attention to something even more tender, a letter sealed with light. It has been kept in heaven's archives for this exact moment. It is not written in ink but in love, in the kind of words that sink deep into the soul. As the seal breaks, the words rise like music, you have not been forgotten. You are not behind. Every prayer you whispered in faith is alive in my hands, and I am bringing them to pass. The angels smile, because they know, once you hear these words in your heart, doubt will no longer have a place to stay. In this stillness, they ask you to pause and notice how the air feels different now. That is because joy has already started its journey toward you. It will arrive quietly at first, then suddenly overflow, touching every part of your life. And when it does, you will remember this moment and say, that was the day the shift began. Heaven's message is simple, yet powerful: stay ready. Keep expecting. Your miracle is closer than your breath. The angels have not stepped away, not even for a heartbeat. They are still here, standing in quiet majesty, their wings softly moving as though stirred by a breeze that does not belong to this world. One of them is holding something you have never seen before, a golden vessel, glowing from within. The light is alive, almost breathing, and you can feel it calling your spirit closer. This is not just light, it is the collection of every promise God has made over your life, kept safe in heaven's keeping until the appointed moment. And the angels whisper, the appointed moment is now beginning. You may have wondered why certain prayers felt unanswered, why certain seasons stretched longer than you thought you could bear. But the truth is, heaven was not ignoring you, it was preparing a way so secure that nothing and no one could undo it. Every delay you experienced was actually a weaving of threads, each one pulling you into alignment with the greatest version of your life. The angels lean in and say, you thought you were waiting on heaven, but heaven was shaping the blessing to fit you perfectly. I see in the vision now, a great archway appearing before you. It is carved from light, and above it are the words, "Step forward." As you move closer, the atmosphere changes. The heaviness you've carried begins to fall away without effort, the doubt, the fatigue, the lingering ache of things that didn't work out. You pass under the arch, and with each step, your spirit feels lighter, as though heaven is exchanging the weight of the past for the beauty of what is ahead. And what is ahead is not small, it is a wide, open place where joy flows like a river and peace settles like morning sunlight. The angels now lead you to a table. It is long, endless almost, and set with treasures beyond description, opportunities, reconciled relationships, provision in abundance, and moments that will make your heart lift in awe. The angels tell you, this is your portion. It has always been yours, but now it is being placed into your hands. You realize in that moment that nothing in your past can disqualify you from what God has appointed for you. Your story is not defined by what you lost, but by what heaven is now releasing. And then, the most unexpected thing happens. A gentle voice fills the space, a voice you recognize without needing to see the face. It is the voice of Jesus himself. He says, "You are not here by accident. I have watched over you in the quiet and in the storm, and I have brought you here to remind you, you are deeply loved, fully seen, and completely safe in my hands. What is coming is not fragile. It is built on the strength of my promise." The angels smile, because they know that when you truly believe these words, nothing can shake you again. The light from the golden vessel spills out and surrounds you, sinking into every part of your life, every dream, every prayer. And as it does, you feel it, the shift, the beginning of the miracle. Heaven's timing is here, and it is unfolding before you. The air feels different now, as though heaven itself has drawn closer to you. You can almost sense the gentle pressure of unseen hands resting on your shoulders, steadying you, reminding you that you are not alone in this moment. Archangel Michael steps forward, his presence radiant and strong, yet carrying a tenderness that feels like the quiet after a summer rain. In his hands, he holds a scroll bound with a ribbon of living light, the kind of light that moves and dances like it knows your name. He doesn't rush. He simply looks into your eyes, as though every hidden chapter of your life is written there. He begins to speak, his voice deep yet warm. This is the day heaven decided to move your life into the place it was always meant to be. Not a day later, not a day earlier, this exact moment. You feel those words settle inside you, not just in your mind, but deep in your spirit. This is not a promise for someday. This is the appointed time that heaven has been arranging behind the scenes. As Michael unrolls the scroll, light spills out and wraps around you like a cloak. In that light, visions begin to form, glimpses of a future that feels so pure and joyful it almost takes your breath away. You see yourself walking in places you once only dreamed of, surrounded by people whose hearts carry the same goodness and truth as your own. You see doors opening without effort, conversations leading to blessings you didn't expect, and moments of quiet peace that feel like home for your soul. The angels around you begin to hum a melody, a sound that feels older than the world itself, yet strangely familiar to you. It's as if your spirit recognizes it, as if you've heard it before, long before you were born into this world. That melody carries a message: what is for you will find you, and nothing can keep it away now. Michael walks with you toward a great garden. This is no ordinary garden. The flowers glow faintly, the air carries the scent of rain and something sweeter, and every path seems to lead to more beauty than the one before. In the center stands a fountain, its water shimmering with silver and gold. Michael gestures to it and says, "This is the well of answered prayers." Some of these answers have been waiting here for years, but today they flow toward you. You reach into the fountain, and when your hands touch the water, you feel it, a deep assurance that what has been set in motion cannot be undone. Your waiting has not been wasted. Every step, every tear, every silent hope has led you to this moment. You are not chasing the blessing anymore, the blessing is running toward you. Jesus appears beside Michael now, his presence so gentle yet so overwhelming in love that it brings a stillness over everything. He looks at you and says softly, "You are not forgotten. I have carried your name in my heart every single day. And now, I give you what your heart has longed for, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are to me." The light around you grows brighter, and for a moment, you can feel the pulse of heaven, steady, strong, unshakable. This is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where everything begins to bloom in full color. And as you stand there, surrounded by angels, you know deep within, this is the moment your destiny turns toward joy. The garden seems to open wider now, as though the paths themselves are making room for your steps. The colors of the flowers shift with each movement of the wind, as if heaven has painted them to mirror the feelings in your heart. Archangel Michael walks beside you with quiet strength, his wings casting a gentle shade, and Jesus walks on the other side, his presence carrying a calm that makes the air feel lighter. Every breath you take feels like it belongs to this moment, like you've been prepared for it all along. Michael gestures toward a pathway lined with golden leaves that seem to glow from within. He says softly, "This is the path where heaven delivers promises into reality." Each step you take here is a step closer to what you were always meant to hold. You feel your heartbeat match the rhythm of your footsteps, as if your whole being knows this is more than a walk, it's a crossing from where you've been into where you belong. You notice the trees along the path bearing fruit unlike anything you've ever seen, not just in shape or color, but in the way they radiate a warmth, almost like they're alive with joy. Michael picks one and places it in your hands. The moment you hold it, you see flashes of memories, moments in your life where you kept going even when it was hard, times you chose kindness when no one was watching, times you trusted without having the answers. This fruit is the harvest of all those unseen seeds you planted. Ahead, a gentle stream flows across the path, its waters so clear they look like liquid glass. Jesus kneels beside it, dips his hands in, and lets the water run through his fingers. He looks at you and says, "Everything that once felt heavy will be washed away here. You will not carry yesterday into tomorrow." The stream is shallow, but when you step into it, you feel an overwhelming lightness, as though every shadow that once clung to you has dissolved in the water's embrace. The angels standing nearby begin to sing again, and this time, their song feels like it's weaving light into your very being. You realize something profound. Heaven is not just giving you a blessing, it is giving you back to yourself. The self that is whole. The self that believes without hesitation. The self that knows joy is not temporary but a permanent home. As you walk further, you reach an archway made of intertwined vines, each leaf sparkling with dew that looks like diamonds. Michael steps ahead, parts the vines with a sweep of his hand, and says, "Beyond this is the life heaven has been preparing while you thought nothing was happening. You are ready now." You step through, and it's as if the world has been remade. The air is richer, the light is softer yet brighter, and in your spirit, there is no trace of doubt. You realize that this journey was never just about arriving somewhere, it was about becoming someone. And now, with Michael and Jesus beside you, you know that everything good, everything pure, everything meant for you, is already on its way, unstoppable and certain. The moment you cross that archway, the ground beneath your feet feels different, softer, as though it has been waiting for your steps since the beginning of time. A gentle breeze carries the scent of blooming flowers, each petal glistening with a golden hue, as if heaven poured sunlight into their veins. Archangel Michael walks slightly ahead now, his wings stretched wider than before, catching the light and scattering it into 1,000 colors across the sky. Jesus walks beside you in silence, but his silence speaks louder than words, a silence that tells you, you are safe, you are seen, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. Ahead lies a vast meadow bathed in the softest light you have ever seen. It feels like the place where dreams rest before they are born into the world. The grass sways in a rhythm that matches your heartbeat, and somewhere in that harmony, you feel the truth. This is not just a journey, it's a homecoming. Michael turns to you, his eyes steady and kind, and says, "Every step here is rewriting your story. What you thought was lost is returning, not in fragments, but in fullness." In the distance, you see a table set in the middle of the meadow, draped in white that shimmers like woven starlight. Upon it rests a single scroll tied with a silver ribbon. As you draw closer, you notice the ribbon begins to untie on its own, as though the very air understands it is time for you to see what is written. Jesus reaches for the scroll and places it in your hands, saying, "This is the letter heaven wrote for you long before you were born." Your fingers tremble as you open it, but what you find is not a list of instructions or a set of rules, it's a story. Your story. Every chapter written with grace, every page filled with moments where you were carried even when you thought you were walking alone. And then, at the very end, a sentence that glows with living light: everything you have been waiting for is already walking toward you. Do not look back. Michael gestures toward the horizon, and you see figures approaching. Some are opportunities, some are relationships, some are blessings you prayed for years ago and forgot. They are coming as if they have been freed from some unseen gate. You realize that nothing was ever denied to you, it was simply being prepared in a place you could not yet reach. The air grows warmer, wrapping around you like a familiar embrace. You feel an energy rising inside you, not rushed or anxious, but certain, steady, unshakable. The angels around you begin to move in circles, their wings creating a sound like 1,000 soft drums beating in perfect unity. Each beat feels like an announcement to your soul, it's time. Jesus places his hand on your shoulder, Michael stands on your other side, and together they look at you with a quiet joy. This, Jesus says, is the moment heaven decided you were ready for. And as you stand there, surrounded by light, by love, by a certainty that feels like the ground itself has promised to hold you, you know, this is not the end of the journey. This is the door to the life you have been dreaming of. And the door is already open. The horizon in front of you is no longer just a line where the sky meets the earth, it has become a living gateway, shimmering with colors no human language has ever fully named. Archangel Michael stands beside you, the curve of his wings catching every shade of gold, while Jesus walks slightly ahead, his robe brushing against the grass that seems to bow in reverence. The air feels alive, not just with the scent of heaven's garden, but with a quiet anticipation, as if the very ground knows what is about to unfold for you. Michael turns, his voice carrying the depth of oceans yet the gentleness of rain. Do you feel it? The path you've been walking has been leading to this exact point since the day you took your first breath. You nod, not because you fully understand, but because your soul recognizes the truth in his words. There's a deep stirring inside you, a sense that something has been moving toward you
along, not in haste, but in divine timing.
Ahead, a crystal-clear river winds through the meadow, its water glowing faintly as if lit from beneath. On the other side, you see a small bridge carved entirely from white stone, and beyond that, a great tree whose branches spread like an embrace across the sky. Jesus gestures for you to follow, and as you step onto the bridge, you hear the softest melodies, not from instruments, but from the flowing water itself. Each note carries a memory, times you thought you were alone but weren't, moments when you wanted to give up but something unseen gave you strength to keep going. When you reach the tree, you notice its leaves shimmer like liquid silver, and nestled among its roots is a chest, small, unassuming, yet radiating a quiet light. Michael kneels beside it and looks at you with a smile that feels both proud and tender. This is yours. It has always been yours. You bend down, your hands brushing against the smooth wood, and feel warmth seep into your skin, as if the chest itself recognizes your touch. The lock clicks open without a key, and inside you find objects that seem simple but feel priceless. A folded letter written in a handwriting you instantly recognize as your own, yet somehow it's from a version of you that has already lived the future. There's also a ring, delicate yet unbreakable, engraved with words you can't read but somehow understand. You are already chosen. And finally, a small vial of light, not symbolic light, but actual living light, swirling and pulsing as though it contains the heartbeat of heaven itself. Jesus picks up the vial and places it in your palm. This, he says, is the reminder that no matter where you go, a piece of heaven walks with you. You hold it close, feeling it merge with your spirit, and in that moment, the air around you changes. You hear movement, not footsteps, but the approach of what you've been waiting for. It feels as though every answer, every breakthrough, every miracle you've been praying for is finally within reach. Michael steps forward, his wings folding softly behind him. When you leave this place, nothing will be the same, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You realize he's right. The meadow, the river, the tree, they will remain, but the you that walks away from this moment will carry something unshakable. As you turn back toward the path, Jesus walks beside you, Michael slightly behind, their presence wrapping around you like a cloak of light. You know now that destiny isn't something you chase, it's something that walks toward you when your heart is finally ready to receive it. And in this moment, you are ready. The sky above you is not just blue, it is alive, breathing with light that shifts between soft gold and deep sapphire, as if heaven itself is watching this moment unfold. A warm breeze moves through the air, carrying with it a fragrance you can't quite name, something between blooming jasmine and the memory of rain on fresh soil. Archangel Michael walks by your side, his steps silent yet powerful, while Jesus walks slightly ahead, his robe glowing faintly in the sunlight. You feel no rush, yet there is a deep sense that each step is bringing you closer to something your soul has been longing for all your life. As you follow them, you notice the path beneath your feet is made of stones that seem to hum with a quiet energy, each one etched with symbols that light up when you step on them. Michael glances back at you with a knowing smile. Every step you take here is rewriting your story. His words sink into you, not just as a thought, but as a truth that wraps itself around your heart. You soon come to a clearing, a vast circle of grass that sways as if it is bowing in welcome. In the center stands a tall, transparent pillar made of crystal, and inside it, swirling like captured starlight, is something that feels alive. Jesus walks to the pillar and rests his hand against it. Instantly, the light within shifts, stretching toward him as if recognizing its creator. Then he turns to you and says gently, "This belongs to you." As you approach, the pillar begins to soften, its edges melting into nothingness until the light within is suspended in the air between you. You reach out your hands, and it floats down, resting weightlessly in your palms. The moment you touch it, a rush of warmth floods through your body, and images begin to fill your mind, moments you've lived, moments you're yet to see, and moments heaven has kept for you. You see yourself laughing in places you haven't visited yet, embracing people you've not yet met, holding blessings you once thought were impossible. Michael's voice comes from behind you, low but steady. This is not just a glimpse of your future, it is the proof that it's already been written. His words seem to echo in your soul, stirring a confidence you didn't know you had. You realize this light isn't just a gift, it's a promise. Jesus steps closer, placing his hand over yours, and you feel the light fuse with your spirit. It doesn't disappear, instead, it becomes part of you, a quiet flame that will never go out. The world around you seems to brighten, as though the very air is rejoicing in what just happened. You take a deep breath and notice that everything feels different now, lighter, clearer, fuller. It's as if a weight you didn't even know you were carrying has been lifted, and in its place is a sense of unshakable peace. Michael leans closer and says, "When you leave here, you will not walk the same way you came. The ground beneath your feet will recognize you, and so will heaven." As you begin to walk again, the path ahead seems to stretch into endless beauty, rolling hills, rivers that sparkle under the sun, and a horizon that calls to you like a gentle voice. You don't know exactly what tomorrow will bring, but you no longer feel the need to know. You simply trust. And in that trust, you feel the quiet certainty that the miracle you've been waiting for has already started walking toward you. The air feels different now, softer, warmer, almost as if it carries a melody only your soul can hear. You walk forward with Michael on one side and Jesus on the other, each step steady and unhurried, yet charged with a quiet sense of destiny. The light around you shifts like the sky is painting your path in gold, guiding you forward not with force, but with love. Somewhere deep within, you know you're walking into a place where your heart will finally find the answers it has been searching for. Ahead, the path curves into a garden unlike any you've seen. The flowers are unlike those of earth, their petals glow faintly, releasing a scent that reminds you of joy itself. Small streams run between them, their waters sparkling with reflections of heaven's light. Michael gestures for you to step closer to a wide stone bench shaded by a tree whose leaves are shimmering like liquid silver. "Sit," he says softly, "for what is coming to you now can only be received in stillness." As you sit, Jesus steps forward and kneels so that his eyes meet yours. There is nothing hurried in his gaze, only a depth of love that makes time feel irrelevant. He reaches into his robe and draws out a small, folded cloth. When he unfolds it, you see a key, but it is not made of metal. It looks like it's formed from light itself, glowing softly in his palm. "This," he says gently, "is the key to doors you thought were forever closed. They are not closed to you anymore." When he places the key into your hand, you feel a wave of warmth run up your arm and into your chest, spreading through you until every part of you feels alive. Suddenly, you understand, this key is not just for a physical door. It is for the unseen gates in your life, opportunities you thought had passed, relationships you thought could never be healed, dreams you thought were lost. One by one, in the quiet of your spirit, you see them beginning to open. Michael's voice comes from behind you, calm yet firm. These openings are not by chance. They have been timed perfectly so that nothing will be too early or too late. You are walking into the fullness of what was prepared for you long before you knew to ask for it. His words feel like an anchor and a promise at the same time. You close your fingers around the key, holding it close to your heart, and as you do, something shifts in the atmosphere. The garden grows even brighter, and the air seems to shimmer. You realize this is heaven's way of marking the moment, a quiet seal upon the blessing you've just received. Jesus rises to his feet, offering his hand to help you stand. Walk forward with this key, and do not question if you are ready. You have been prepared for this all along, he says, his voice carrying the weight of certainty. You step beside him once more, Michael following closely, and together you walk out of the garden. The path now leads toward a horizon painted in warm gold and deep rose, as if the day is ending just to make way for a brighter dawn. And deep in your heart, you know, tomorrow will not simply bring change. It will bring truth, and that truth will set the course for everything that follows.